Right. Instagram Live. Hey, Instagram Live. Good afternoon. Happy Hump Day. It's 3:30 on Wednesday. Is today the 27th or 28th? I think it's the 27th of February. And anyway, I'm driving along and I'm going to make a quick comment of why do I do keto? Don't text and drive. ... There we go. I don't know how to pin this thing, so I'm going to try to do that. But I don't know. I've seen some people do that, and if I hit another red light, maybe I'll try that. But I'm just going to babble along anyway, along the way, and talk about why I do keto. And the reason that I wanted to rant, I've been wanting to go live for a little while and talk about something worth talking about. And today was the perfect day because I had three things happen to me today that really help me better explain why I do what I do. I've been eating low carb, high fat, and attempting to achieve and maintain nutritional ketosis since last January. So it's a little over a year that I've been doing this. This past summer, I faltered a little bit. Right after the holidays into the new year, I faltered a little bit. And, so I put a couple of pounds back. But overall, I have maintained it. And, I'll say in the summer, I got lazy. Over the holidays, I took 2 days and I did an experiment. And that experiment, let's see if I can pin this up there. I don't know how to pin comment. Hey, there you go. Okay, cool. So, pinned, if anyone decides to watch it with me. I don't know, I'm up to 461 followers, hoo-hoo, and I go live and nobody's watching, but I put it in my story and I get some good feedback from some of you guys, so I appreciate that. So anyway, and I did a little experiment in New Year's Eve day and New Year's Day, and, for a couple days right around then, I ate some crap. As our friend Jimmy says sometimes, crappy garbage, and that's truly what it was. I ate some stuff that I hadn't eaten for a long time, and I figured I would try it out, and did I like it? And, most of what I had, it was nice, but I gotta tell you, that it was nice. I have things that are comparable, like, I ate tortilla chips, and I didn't feel good after. I eat pork skin, chicharrones, pork rinds that is, and it doesn't bother me. But man, the corn chips didn't work well with me. I had some chocolate, and again, I'm going to say, I eat chocolate pretty regularly in the diet that I follow, and I say diet meaning what I eat. There are ingredients that I utilize and eat chocolate, which is keto-friendly, low carb, very fulfilling, super sweet, and I get to play with it. I make my own. I've tried a few different brands, but the chocolate that I eat, no good. I ate some cookies, and the cookies didn't even taste good to me, but I ate them anyway, and I found myself oh wow, that was not really good. And then I went back for more anyway, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? So this is part of what I want to talk about is, why do I do keto? Why am I keeping it low carb, trying to restrict carbs, cut out extraneous sugars, and just eat real whole food? And why do I think you should do the same? And I don't mean everyone. Listen, some people, they live perfectly healthy lives, maintaining a healthy weight, have a healthy body, by eating a balanced diet. But for many of us, that is not the case. For many of us, eating certain things just doesn't work, doesn't agree with us. We're not healthy. Even when we say, well, we're eating a balanced diet and we're doing really well. And, there are even some people out there who are skinny fat, meaning, inside their bodies, they've got metabolic issues going on that they don't even know about. And more and more it comes out in the news. It's not mainstream. Big grain, cereal companies, food companies, chemical companies, pharmaceutical companies, there's a lot of money out there advertising why we should eat this way and why we should take these medications. There's no money to be made in selling real food. Well, some, but, not the money that's made by the pharmaceutical company, not the money that's made by the food manufacturing companies. And therein is where I turn around and I go, I've been eating real food. I do a lot of cooking of my own stuff, and I got to tell you, it's just freaking awesome. And so, going back to around the holidays, when I went off the ranch altogether and got off this bandwagon, and it wasn't that I didn't like some of the things that I ate, but oh my God, like I paid for that. My stomach, my whole body, like I was off for days. It took me like a week or two to really get back, because like I said, okay, and it wasn't about I'm going back to eating this way for good, but it was about I'd like to have this, let's see, and I learned the lesson, and that's why I say I did an experiment. I wasn't looking to make this a regular part of my diet. I didn't want to reclaim, I haven't had corn chips, must have corn chips. For the rest of my life, I'll never have a corn chip. Oh my God. No, I wasn't lamenting anything. I just felt like, let me try, let me see, it's around the house, and my body did not like it. My stomach did not like it. I did not sleep as well. My skin broke out again, man. Like things that happened in the first week or two of beginning this last January, where my skin cleared up, my stomach stopped bothering me, and like all these things that were benefits of changing my diet. And in a matter of a day or two, I totally screwed myself up. My mom asked me way back last year, well, honey, what are you going to do when you start eating real food again? And I said, but Mom, I'm eating real food. And that's really the point of what I want to stress here, is that eating a carb-restricted diet, eliminating extraneous sugars, and eating whole foods with healthy fat, it's still real food. It's still food that we've eaten for millennia. People have eaten meat with fat and vegetables and, certain things that were plentiful and some that were not. And what was plentiful more for people was meat. And that's where I am right now. And I'll come back around and explain what happened to me today. But where I am today is, over the last month, as January was International Carnivore Day, or I don't even know, everyone and their mother was like, we're going to do a 30-day carnivore test and see how we feel. And a lot of people are carrying on from there and maintaining that keto carnivore, and that's where, carnivore is carnivore. Carnivore is just eating meat, and that's not about keto, because a lot of people out there still are afraid of fat, and they eat a lot of lean meat, and I don't know the ramifications of just eating lean meat. I know that it doesn't taste as good. I know that I don't enjoy it as much. Equally, I turn around and I know for me, when I mix up the different types of meat I eat, when I cook those fattier cuts, and I'm not just talking about ribeyes. My wife cooked a top round and it was a little too lean for my taste. I cooked an eye round on the suggestion of my mom, and it was a little better, still a little too lean for me. I cooked some shank, and it was good. I liked it, but I need to cook it differently. My understanding is that you could use shank meat for usaboka, whatever you call it. Usually it's made with veal, is my understanding, but that you could use shank meat for that as well. And I need to look into a recipe. I broiled mine and it came out okay and it looked nice, and some of the leaner, less bonier pieces were okay, but cutting into that stuff, I wonder if I did slow cook like I've done with some other cuts, if it wouldn't be amazing. And I'm eating a whole bunch of organ meat and different parts. This past weekend, I picked up a cow tongue. I picked up additional beef cheek meat. Makes a lovely barbacoa, which is absolutely amazing. I'll share that when I do it and put up some perhaps some video. Definitely put up the recipe, and maybe I'll not put up the video of me cooking it because I'm not there yet. I got to work on that one. Maybe get the video on my camera, just pausing in between like some people do. I don't have a filming partner yet. My kids are a little too young for that, and my wife will have none of it. So we'll work on that. But I'll definitely put it up when I'm eating it to give my review of it, and I'll definitely share the recipe and some pictures of it. And that's about where we are. So, all different cuts of meat. I love my liver. I bought some heart, and, that fatty chopped meat that you can get in BJ's. Hey, cats and pies. Cats and pies. Is that my, oh my God. This is where I'm getting old, just shy of 50 and mushy in the head. That's my love from Brooklyn, and I'm just blanking on a name, so I'm going to wave without touching my phone because I'm driving and just ramble on again because that's what I'm doing, rambling and ranting. So again, going back to why do I keto? I keto because it feels good. I keto because despite the fact that even my scale doesn't move, even though my scale doesn't move, my clothes still get looser on me, and that's just phenomenal. Running into family members who haven't seen me for months and them shaking their head going, oh my God, Russ, what have you done? How you look really good. And I'm like, in my head I'm going, the scale's stuck, I haven't lost any weight. However, like I said, the clothes are getting looser, and the information that I read, the one thing I learned from the trainer that I started following last December, January, before I decided to go full out keto was, she said, make sure that you educate yourself. You could hear this and that from everyone and their mother telling you what the right way is, what the wrong way is, to lose weight, be healthy, whatever you should be eating. But don't take their word for it. Read about it. Do some research. Learn the facts, learn the research, learn the science behind it. And that's really where I am, is, I'm learning, and every day I'm trying to learn a little more, listen to another podcast, read another book, read another article, and just find out information and, plug deeper into the community, because I've always been a gym rat. I've always been interested in nutrition, but the issue is I've never really researched it myself. I just went on what was suggested. This is a good way to lose weight. This is a good way to be healthy. But now I'm learning, and the things that I'm learning are disturbing, man, because, here's where I am, coming back to what happened today and why do I need to rant on the way home today? Because, one, my colleague across the hall from me has been complaining of gut issues for months. I'm going to going on a year now. And along the way, I've mentioned, hey, why don't you try, and don't take my word for it, go out and read. And I always mention that to him, that, dude, you should check out this book, check out that book, read this information, look this up online. And there's so much good information. And where I am now, as I mentioned, is, I'm leaning hard on carnivore. I can't say I'm 100%, but I'm going to say I'm like between 90 and 95%, depending on the day. I still like my shirataki noodles, these miracle noodles that have 0 carb, or, it depends where you look them up. Sometimes it shows they had negative carb, because, how is that possible? It's all fiber, glucosamine, or I don't know the actual component of the shirataki plant. I believe it's a root, kind of like a water lily kind of thing, and they spiralize it, turn it into noodles, turn it into rice, all kinds of cool stuff that they can make it into. And it smells like hell when you cook it. It smells like hell when you take it out of the bag. According to my wife, it smells like hell after you cook it. But then when you dry saute it and cook it up with whatever you're doing, man, it is like heaven. It's got almost the consistency of pasta. But what I like about it even more, because I can't say I miss pasta, what I like about it even more is it picks up the flavor and it fills out a dish and it fills you up, man. So whether it's 1 7-ounce bag or 2 7-ounce bags, like I could eat a ginormous bowl full and be full but not stuffed. And that's just freaking awesome. So there you go. Anyway, so I digress. So my one colleague is complaining and I'm turning around going, why don't you just, all this stuff. He's talking about gout. And he's like, oh, if you eat too much meat, you get gout. And I'm like, that's not what I'm hearing listening to the carnivore community. I'm not there yet. I haven't been doing this long enough to say anything about it personally, other than how good I feel. But everyone I know who's been doing carnivore for years, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, and no one's complaining they got gout. No one's complaining they got kidney stones. Everyone's saying it happens, but then the people who are actually doing it aren't having that problem. He was telling me, oh, I did a lot of protein this summer and I got gout. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I eat an awful lot of meat and I haven't gotten gout. Too much nitric acid, too much nitrogen in the body. I don't know. I'd have to read up on gout. But my understanding is if you're eating a proper diet, giving the body what it needs, and again, I'm going to go back to why do I do keto? Because amino acids are essential. There are essential amino acids, those that are not found within the body, or those which our bodies cannot actually create. And then there are the other however many amino acids out there. Amino acids are an integral part of our body, how it repairs, how it builds, and if we don't get protein in our bodies, we're not going to get what we need. You look out there at some of the vegans out there who are these hardcore, never eat meat, it's bad. And it's interesting because it's coming in the news with some of the ones who are like so adamant about it and leading the community, and then secretly in the back they're like eating sardines once or twice a month to make sure that they get some of the proteins that you can't get from vegetables. But you look at the whole vegan community and these people, not all of them, some of them have been doing it for a little while, but there's like a lot of vegans out there who are getting all these health issues because they're not getting everything they need. You need protein, and our bodies are designed to get protein from animal. Like, we're designed to eat meat. And if for ethical issues you feel otherwise, there's ways that you can manage to do it without eating meat, but you have to be careful if that's what you're going to do and make sure that you get everything that you need. However, if you don't, that's where the problems start. So, gotta have protein, and I eat meat. Fat is the enemy is a big fat lie. Fat is not the enemy. Those monounsaturated fats that we get from all those vegetable oils that have been pushed out upon us over the course of the 20th century, the latter half of the 20th century, where we were told, get rid of saturated fat and have all these vegetable oils, they're healthier for you. They're known to lower LDL cholesterol. But again, if you look at lipidology and the science behind it, again, it's not yet mainstream, but there's a whole lot of professionals out there, experts in lipidology, who turn around and say, that cholesterol number by itself means nothing. That LDL number by itself means nothing. Now, if you start looking at HDL, if your HDL is low, that's not good. True that. If you look at triglycerides by themselves, if triglycerides are high, that's indicative of high blood sugar, and again, not good. If you look at your HDL triglyceride proportionality, the ratios to one another, absolutely, that's a good number to look at. You got to look at particle size of your LDL, and there's a whole lot of information out there that most doctors don't know. My doctor doesn't know it. he looks at the numbers like, oh, Russ, that's not good. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I read this, and this. Let's look this up. And he's like, interesting. He's willing to learn. I'm trying to find a doctor who really knows this stuff well. And they are few and far between. I have good insurance. I'd like to use a doctor who takes my insurance. And I will continue that search until I find someone who knows the science, who's up on the latest information, and willing to be open to, this is how I'm eating. A good friend of mine is getting studied under Duke University, and they are baffled at the amazing numbers that he has. And he has the health of a 20-year-old, and he's, in his low 40s, or he just turned 40, whatever. But it's like a turnaround from a 400-plus pound guy to all of a sudden now he's like the picture of health. And that's freaking phenomenal. How does that happen eating like this? Because the proverbial they, the people who sit around the table and say stuff, they would have us believe that does not work. And what I'm going to tell you is it does. So this one guy, he's complaining, all this stuff. And I said, why don't you just try for 28 days, man? What's 28 days? We're talking 4 weeks. Eliminate everything. Even if it's not meat, just do an elimination diet, which is why I feel so strongly about it. I've pretty much cut everything out for now. And then I'm going to put things in because, as I discovered over the New Year's weekend, some things don't agree with me, and I want to make sure that I know how my body reacts to it. That's really the sum of it. Then I had another lady who, another colleague who what you got there for lunch, love? And she says, oh, I got a little chicken, I got a little this, I got just a little brown rice. And I kind of raised an eyebrow, and they know because, they're right across the hall from me, and we talk all the time, and they know what I eat. And she's like, I don't know. And I said, listen, I don't want to preach to you, but I cut the rice out because of how it made me feel. I cut the rice out because I don't want that sugar in my body. I cut the carbs out because I want my blood sugar well below 100. And historically, my fasting blood sugar in the morning always comes up just above. 109 was the last read. And I know that it could take a year or so to get that number down, and it hasn't yet been a full year from when I tested the blood. I don't think I tested, maybe I tested in March and August, and it's almost time to do it again, maybe. I think we just passed 6 months right now. So I could probably do the numbers again and see what happened. See what happened with my HSCRP, which is a measure of inflammation. There's a lot of things. My doctor's like, oh my God, your HSCRP is very high. You have heart disease. And then he had done my femoral arteries, and they were 0%. There was no blockages. He did my carotid, and he's like, there's basically zero blockage. Probably in the summer, I will go and get a, what's it called? It's a CAT scan of your carotid. No, CAT scan of your, what's the one in your heart? CAC. There we go. Coronary artery calcium score. So they scan you with the CAT scan, and they can see the plaques built up because the calcium shows up. And then they run some numbers, and they're able to give you a number, and depending on what the number is, they can tell you what your chances of having heart disease and coronary issues. Based on my dad, based on my carotid, based on my femoral, I'm going to guess that I probably have a pretty low CAC score. I'll get that done in the summer. I'm coming up. I'll be 49 this year. A year, just about a year and a half shy of 50, and I want to know that I'm going to be here for a while. I have little kids. That's why I do it. I do it really because not only do I want to feel good, get lighter, get healthier, but I want to be here, man. I got a beautiful family. I got a beautiful wife. I got beautiful kids, and I need to keep up with them and get in shape. And, I'm pretty active. So that's me. And then going back to the lady across the hall from me who's eating all this stuff, and she's like, "Oh, I know," and she struggles, man, and I understand because I struggled. My high was 310, and I didn't feel good. I let myself, right before my son was born, get back up into the mid 290s, and it didn't feel good. Like I'm huffing and puffing. When I lay down to sleep, I'm huffing and puffing. When I'm walking up the stairs, I'm huffing and puffing. I'm not huffing and puffing anymore. I'm just getting over 2 weeks of, everything goes down into my chest and I get close to bronchitis, if not bronchitis itself. So, I'm finally getting over it. The voice is almost back altogether. I'm still a little dry. But, I'm not wheezing. And even then, I wasn't huffing and puffing. I just couldn't stop coughing. But not huffing and puffing and not feeling like that anymore. And that's why I do this. I want my kids to think I am Superman for as long as I'm hopping and bopping around with them. And 4.5, 6.5, I got a ways to go before they're done bopping around and they get to be grown-ups and start doing their thing. So I got a solid 20 years ahead of me. I better get in shape. So by 70 I still want to be retired and running around and doing my thing, at least up until I'm 80, before I slow down at all. So that's where I am today. I ranted for a long time. I got some things to do, so I'm going to stop right there and say, you guys have a beautiful day. I'm going to save this, so if you haven't seen it with me live, what you need to do is watch it on YouTube, because I'll post it there, and add it to my YouTube channel. And more as I think of things and I take some time to look up some more stuff to really share with you the real facts. There's a lot that I understand, but I don't always explain it so well. But when I have something to rant about, I need to put out here. I need to share it with you. And if this isn't what you want to hear, man, but you know someone who does, pass it on. Let them know about it. I'm not looking to sell anything. I got plenty of things to sell, but this is not what I'm selling. I'm not selling information. I want to share this information because I want to be healthy and I want you to be healthy too. So share it with the people you know, share it with the people you love, share it with the people who you think you need to hear it. And if you need to hear it, listen. And if you want to shout out, give me a shout. And I know the comments come always after the fact because I'm just not that important, don't have all those followers. I only have my quiet followers in the background. So there you go. And you guys be well. Until soon.